Hello and welcome to this Affinity Software tutorial. Now this is sort of a follow-up to a video I made yesterday, which was about the Serif's Mystical Lights overlay pack. And this was something I forgot to mention at the time, so I thought while I was sort of mentioning it, I'll sort of make a slightly extended tutorial looking at the difference between copy and paste and the place command. I'm going to use the same image I used in yesterday's video, but I'm going to use a different overlay from the Mystical Lights overlay pack. Now, in the thing that I did yesterday, I looked at this page here, which is like an article about the Mystical Lights collection. And part of that was the how to use it. So in that they said the first part was to open the image that you want, which is what I've got, which is the American football player. And then they got drag and drop the overlays direct from the folder onto your computer to add them to your photo. Now I personally am not a big fan of the drag and drop. I think it works better possibly in Mac videos, which I've seen other people do. It does sort of work on a PC, but I'm not a very big fan of it. So I prefer to use like either cut and paste or copy and paste. But if I can do this, we'll give it a go. I've got the folder that I want, and that's the image that I want. And if I drag this down to the icon at the bottom for Affinity Photo, this might be outside what you can see actually, but it will it comes up and says pin to Affinity Photo, and if I let go of the button, it then gives me an option to where it's pinned here, and I can just click on that, and it should, if I've done it correctly. No, see, I can't. It didn't work that time. Possibly because I've already got the image open. That might be why it didn't work. Which is why I'm not a big fan of drag and drop. I prefer to just open the image I want and copy and paste it. So that is what I'm going to do here. So I will right-click the image, copy it, come over to this main image, and then edit and paste. Now as you can see by the background, I'm on the move tool, and you can see by the outside this area here, this image is too small at the moment, so I'm just going to click and resize this so it fits like that, and then change the blend mode to screen. Now I personally think that looks really good, because that sort of arc there makes it look like it's part of the movement of this American footballer. So I would pretty much leave that where it is. I might have deleted some of this area here, but that's not the point of this video. So that would be the either drag and drop, cut and paste, or copy and paste way of getting one layer above another layer. Let me turn that off and highlight the background layer. And now look at the place command. Now that is in the file menu, and it's down here, and it just says place, so you click on that, and then you would have to navigate to wherever it is the file that you want to place. And obviously I did this earlier, so it's remembered where I was, but I'm going to click on that image again and click open. Now hopefully you can see the cursor now has changed to, it's got the arrow, and just behind it there's this little arrow pointing down and a white circle. So if I click and hold down the mouse button and drag outwards, and it doesn't have to be in the corner, you could be even in the middle if you wanted, but as I want this to fit the whole image, I'm going to go out to the corner, click and hold down the mouse button, and drag that image out until it fits the image that I want, or where I want it on the image. So like before, if I change the blend mode to screen, the difference between, I turn that one back on, and I just keep turning either one or the other one off, the difference, they're pretty much in exactly the same place. Now the one main difference that you may notice here is that the layer that I have just placed is in brackets, it says image, but the one I copy and pasted, in brackets it says pixel. So the one I use with the place command is an image layer, and the one I use with copy and paste is a pixel layer. Now the difference is, I'm not 100% certain on this, and so don't go mad if I've got it slightly wrong, but I believe that if it's a pixel layer, the image has already been rasterized, and I suppose if you make it too big, it will start to see the pixelization. And also, if you're embedding it into documents like PDFs and what have you, it's already been compressed when it was made into a pixel layer, and if you then put it into a PDF, it may get compressed a bit more and it starts to lose quality. Whereas if you use an image layer via the place command, it's not compressed and it still retains all the information from the original image. So if you then place it into like a PDF and what have you, and it then gets compressed a little bit, it won't be as bad as if you used the copy and paste method. So it's sort of, the place command is probably like a refined version of copy and paste. It depends what you want to do and how you want to use either copy and paste or the place command. I'll leave that up to you. So if we come back to these instructions, because like I said, the third, they say either drag and drop like copy and paste, and the third one is, or you can use the place function. So they've given you both versions there, and hopefully I've done the same by hopefully explaining to you whether to use copy and paste or use the place command. I would imagine the place command has probably more use in, say, like Publisher, because this will work in the Affinity Publisher, Affinity Designer and Affinity Photo, but it probably has more use in Publisher, whereas when you might have pages and columns of text and you want to place an image in a specific place. Because if I turn this off a second, come back to this one, and if I place a different image, let's try that one. You could have like columns of text here, and then you could just place that image there, and it's going to be sort of that size, but you can alter it and move it about. But because it's an image layer, it will keep its all the data that's in that file will remain within this layer. So basically that is, I think, everything covered when it comes between the difference between copy and paste and the place command. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.